Welcome to the 1% Club. We are glad you're here. It's a beautiful sunny day here in beautiful sunny Puerto Rico. Had some friends showed up today unexpectedly, so we've been touring the island, having fun. But great to see all of you. Get ready. Now, real quick, I have a surprise today that nobody knows about, and you're going to love it. You're going to love it. So sit by and get ready to be impressed. I'll give you a hint on what we're going to do. A lot of you know that we now have Revenue Share 2.0. And I was talking to John Sy up in Canada. He's like, oh my God, my people, they're all making so much more money. They're like bonkers. You know, people had 40 people, but they didn't sponsor 5. They sponsored 4 or 3. You don't get paid on those 40 people. Revenue Share 2.0, you get paid on those 40 people. Now, those 40 people each go sponsor 2. You have 80 on tier 3. You had to sponsor 10 for tier 3. Well, if you sponsored 3 or 4, or maybe you sponsored 7, but only 4 in production, you're not getting paid on the 40 and you're not getting paid on the 80. So it's 120 agents you weren't getting paid on. Revenue Share 2.0 unlocks tier 2 and 3. You don't have to sponsor anyone. So it's possible to sponsor someone who sponsors 40. Although sponsor 2, they have 80. Now you're getting paid on 120 agents every month. We have people that went from making $2,000, $3,000 a month to making $10,000, $15,000 a month. So Revenue Share 2.0 is pretty cool. Now here's the deal. And Rob, are you there today? You and I usually connect.
I am here. I am here. Yes,
you're here. Let me turn that up. I can barely hear you on my side.
I am here.
So Rob, what we're going to do in a few minutes is I'm going to go ahead and roll the video I sent you this morning. I believe it's only 11 minutes long. Is that about? I looked. I don't know if you looked,
Yes.
but it's 11 minutes long. But it's John Mycash explaining Revenue Share 2.0, and he nailed it. So because it's 11 minutes long, I want to get your feedback. I want to see what you think. And it's something you can give to people. And because like they're excited about EXP, but maybe they don't understand Revenue Share 2.0. And we don't want to have a bait and switch situation where like, well, no one really ever explained it to me. John Mycash is brilliant. He breaks it down with PowerPoint slides. In 11 minutes, he just nailed it. So I'm super excited. I'm waiting for a few more people to get on here. When we break 30, we'll do it. In the meantime,
and you're going to want me to play that on my end, Brent? You want me to get that ready, queued up?
Yeah. I'm sorry,
okay.
Rob. I didn't
I'll have it ready. Sounds
so
good.
Get it ready to go on your end. On a side note, I know Tom Costello is getting ready to do a realtor safety thing at the local board. Is that this week, Tom?
Yeah, it's entitled Get Home Safe in an Unsafe World. I'm going to be talking about the tactics, mindset, and strategy that people use to be safe at open houses, showings, and anywhere in the public. So yeah, please come. Lunch is included, $5 for PCAR members, $10 for non-members, and Val Berlin Douglas makes a great lunch. So come.
What day is it?
What day is it?
I'm in Roseville. It's at the Placer County Association of Realtors this Friday, September 6th, from 11 a.m. to 1:30.
We have people on here from across the country. So it's in Sacramento, California. I'm in Roseville. I'm in Smartsville.
I'm on the other side in North Carolina.
I apologize. Forgive me, Brent. Yeah, Sacramento, Northern the EXP Mecca in Sacramento.
Yeah. The Mecca. So that's 10 to noon, noon to 1. What are the hours there?
11 a.m. to 11:30 to 1 p.m. So it's 90 minutes.
You know, it's interesting. I had a woman text me this weekend. She said, I got the weirdest call. Then they called me back at 2 a.m. from a blocked number. But then, and she's like, I don't know if I'm getting set up. And she's scared. And so, Tom, it's in Lincoln. She's a listing in Lincoln and the home is vacant. And she's afraid to go there alone. I'm going to connect you to her, Tom. And you can invite her to the training on Friday. But you might even go with her. He's a Krav Maga expert. And he is a firearms instructor. And he pretty much, if he can't take him in a wrestling match, he just shoots him. So it's all good either way. Good job, Tommy. All right.
Thanks, brother.
Okay. So, all right. Well, let's get this party started. And roll. Rob, are you ready with it there? Okay. So before we hit play, you can stop everyone.
Right, welcome.
So I should have given a little background on John Mycash. If you don't know him, I think he has about 1,500 agents in his organization. I respect him immensely, just salt of the earth human being, and he's brilliant. He just did such a, I can't do what he did here. I mean, he's just the way he broke it down. So with that, let's roll the 11-minute explanation of how Revenue Share 2.0 works. Here we go.
To Game Changers Nation Revenue Share 2.0 explained. In this presentation, I'm going to show you how the new Revenue Share 2.0 plan aligns with our mentality of simplicity scales and complexity fails. Before we dive into Revenue Share 2.0, though, it's important that we first understand the previous offering that I will refer to as Revenue Share 1.0. And to do that, we're going to have to focus in on two key areas: payout amounts and payout percentages. Previously, the Rev Share payout amounts were an up to number, meaning you had up to the potential to earn that much money. We'll talk about that more in a moment. And previously, the payout percentages were based on adjusted gross commission income, meaning the total income that the agent was bringing in from the sales. So rev share percentage being based off that AGCI, or I like to think of it as that $80,000 number, because it takes $80,000 in gross commission income for an agent to cap at EXP. And then when we look at that sponsor, it says, hey, if you sponsored an agent who earned $80,000 in gross commission, you could potentially earn 3.5% or up to $2,800. However, very important to understand is that in 2019, the company implemented the 50-50 initiative, which stated that the company would never pay out more or less than 50% of the company dollar. This made the opportunity sustainable, which, hey, we were all a big fan of. But to achieve that 50-50 balance, they introduced something called the SRS buffer. And SRS just stands for Sustainable Revenue Share. The SRS buffer effectively changed the payouts, meaning it was near impossible to earn the stated up to amounts, but they kept the model and the explanation of the model the same. This was very difficult to comprehend, so it often wasn't even addressed or discussed or even known. In summary, Revenue Share 1.0, EXP was paying out 50% of company dollar. So that total $16,000 that they would earn on an agent's $80,000 AGCI would equal half of that, $8,000. Percentages were based off of the AGCI, not company dollar. The 50-50 initiative was instituted in 2019 for sustainability, and the SRS buffer system was applied to each level at various percentages that changed from time to time. Unrealized revenue share was bonus back to levels 1 through 3. What is unrealized revenue share? Well, that's if an agent leaves EXP, any revenue share that they would have been earning doesn't then get lost and stay with the company. It goes into a pool and gets reshared with the people that are in the revenue share opportunity. And then agent levels that were unlocked weren't unlocked due to FLQA requirements. So let's say that you had 100 agents on your level 6, but you didn't have 25 FLQAs. That would be unrealized income that's being earned on there, and that also goes back into the bonus pool. So let's dive into the new model. This was effective May 9th of 2024. The primary changes of Revenue Share 2.0 are that the percentage basis has changed from AGCI to Revenue Share Pool. And Revenue Share Pool is just a fancy way of saying company dollar, and it's that 50% portion of company dollar. The reduced qualifications to unlock levels, which I'll talk about in a moment, and the exact same money is still being paid out. So just really important that you understand that what it was before and what it was now, it's the same exact amount of money. EXP isn't keeping any more. They're just changing the way they divide that pie. So let's go back to those two key focus areas: payout amounts and payout percentages. In RevShare 2.0, the payout amounts are the actual amount that you can get paid, not an up to amount that didn't include the buffer. And payout percentages have been changed from a percentage of AGCI to a percentage of that revenue share pool. Again, remember, revenue share pool is just 50% of the company dollar. So we have a new table that shows the different percentages, and it's now reflected as a percentage of the revenue share pool. So those percentages look much bigger, but we're talking about percentages of that revenue share pool, which is 8,000. So it's percentages of that $8,000 amount, not percentages of that AGCI, which was an $80,000 amount. And you'll see the amounts listed here as well. Some of you might be thinking, but wait, isn't that half of what the payout per level was before? And the reason you might think this is because when you line them up side by side, previously our table said up to $2,800 for tier one. Now on level one, you can earn $1,400 when an agent caps. And the big difference is that you never were getting those amounts listed before because of the SRS buffer. Meaning, yeah, they bonused us back, and sometimes with a bonus, you could get closer to those numbers, but you never were really going to be able to achieve those numbers at scale because of the 50-50 initiative that was implemented in 2019. So in essence, our model needed an updating to the explanation anyway, and they chose to wait and just kind of do it all in one with Revenue Share 2.0. So another important thing that I want you to know is that our competitors, people that are out there, trying to replicate these revenue share model types, they are also using buffer systems as well. So when they're advertising that their payout is whatever, there's still a buffer system that they're not talking to you about either. So just know that. Why is this new payout structure important? I think it makes it much more simple and transparent. It's going to provide an immediate benefit to agents. It's much easier to explain. You can earn more money starting out while you're still in sales and growing your revenue share organization. And none of our competitors can offer this, guys. We're now speaking in language that's minimum guaranteed, and everybody else is still talking about max potential. We are leading the industry with the most transparent, easy to understand, and achievable revenue sharing model. But really, that's not even the best part of Revenue Share 2.0. In my opinion, the best part is that they removed the FLQA requirements for levels 1 through 3. What does that mean? Well, in the past, you had to not only recruit agents, but those agents would have to sell a minimum of $5,000 in gross commission income every 6 months in order to maintain qualified status. So you needed to have different levels open with qualified agents. By removing the FLQA requirements on levels 1 through 3, I think this takes us leapfrogs out in front of all our competitors. Nobody else is offering anything this really crazy, and reducing the requirements drastically on levels 4 through 7. Why is this change so important? Again, it's simple and transparent. It provides immediate benefits to the agents. It's easier to explain. Agents are going to come into this opportunity. They're going to recruit some agents who recruit some agents who recruit some agents. And most of that money previously would have been unrealized because they wouldn't have had enough time to get qualified. Now the agents come in, they recruit, they have a sale. You're immediately open on those first 3 levels and getting paid. It's going to really help our agents get traction faster, make money quicker. I like the slogan, "You're one agent away that can change your life," because in the past, if you recruited one agent, it wouldn't have had a huge impact on your financial life because you would have had to still get other agents to be qualified. Now that's not the case. When we look at an example of the old model, let's just say that, you went out and recruited a broker who was a capping broker. In the old model, you'd make $3,200 for that. In the new model, because of a bonus that's in place, I'm going to tell you about next, you would earn $4,000. So you'd actually earn more just on that single agent. But in the old model, if that broker also brought with him 25 capping agents on his first line, which would be your second line, you would have had to had 5 qualified agents to unlock that level. Now that's not the case. And again, on your third level, you would have had to have 10 agents that were qualified to unlock that. So when you look at this example, here's the opportunity for you to recruit one person who can make a significant difference. And between the old model and the new model, it's night and day, guys. People are going to have amazing success stories of earning serious income right out of the gate with this opportunity. Other changes worth mentioning that I just hinted to was this personally sponsored agent bonus. This is actually going to start in July of this year, 24. And this just says that when you personally sponsor an agent in their first 12 months with EXP, that 50% rev share pool is going to be allocated to you in that first year, meaning you can make up to $4,000 in their first 12 months. This is amazing, guys. After year 1, you'll receive Revenue Share 2.0 plan, which is $1,400 or 17.5% of the total revenue share pool in their first year. Still amazing, still awesome. But I think this personally sponsored agent bonus really rewards those for the activities that, is going to help them get traction quickly. Plus, all unrealized revenue share will be bonus back to levels 1 through 3 monthly. So really exciting. And then we also have a pay it now feature. As your revenue share is building in your dashboard, In the past, with our old model, you'd have to wait, and once a month they would pay you out, which was awesome. But now, as that money's growing, you can actually harvest it anytime you want by clicking the button. We had some guys in our organization do it. They clicked the button, they had the money in their account within 12 hours. So really exciting. So let's review. RevShare 2.0 summary is that EXP is paying out the same amount as before. The payout structure has been simplified. Qualifications have never been easier. People can now earn money faster, and earning money faster increases overall retention of you and your organizations. No FLQA requirements on first 3 levels. Huge competitive advantage, guys. I can't overstate this. And any unrealized rev share will be bonus back to levels 1 through 3. You also have the ability to earn up to $4,000 for personally sponsored agents in their first 12 months. That's $1,200 more than you could have earned before. And just to clarify that, if they cap, you're going to earn $4,000. It's not like you might earn $4,000. You will earn $4,000 if they cap within their first year. Very exciting. You'll also get the bonuses that are being bonus back to levels 1 through 3 on top of that. And you're going to be able to get paid right away with the pay it now feature. All these changes are going to make recruiting so much easier, and I'm excited. So let's grow. So what do you need to do now that you have this information? I think you need to call back all the people you spoke to once upon a time. Call all the people you've been afraid to call. Call your leaders and help them understand. Share this recording with them. Host a private EXP Explained RevShare 2.0 for your own group. Host a private EXP Explained for teams with your organization. Take massive action, guys. I believe there's never been a better time to grow at EXP than right now. Change is inevitable. It's going to happen. But growth and what you do with this information is totally optional. It's up to you. So my encouragement to you is go out there, share this information, and let's grow your organization.
All right, Mr. Johnny McCash. That's John McCash. He built a huge business. So, you may have to watch that 2 or 3 times. One of the things he said on there was there's no FOQ requirements for levels 1 through 3, which is awesome. It used to be 5 and 10 in production. Agents selling basically a home every 6 months, and that may sound easy. Sometimes it is, but if you sponsor 10 new agents, you're going to get 2, not 10. And so you really want to have standards and sponsor agents who are selling, in my opinion, at least 5 homes a year. They'll easily sell 1 every 6 months. And then they have friends who are selling, who have friends who are selling. You get revenue created. It creates revenue share. That's one of the reasons mine was so big, so fast. My goal was 10. If they weren't selling 10 homes a year, I didn't talk to them. Standards. Tony Robbins always says, set higher standards. The other thing he said on there was he made it easier to qualify for levels 4, 5, 6 by dropping the requirements. Instead of 4 taking 15, it takes 5. Instead of 5 taking 20, it takes 10. That's cut in half. Instead of level 6 taking 25, it takes 15. Again, dropping it by 10. And then he said, what about level 7? He just said, no, levels 1 through 3, 0, levels 4 through 6. It was, what about level 7? It's still 30. Remember, it used to be 40. Last year in the fall, he took it from 40 to 30. So really, Revenue Share 2.0 is 0 qualifications, levels 1 through 3, and then a massive reduction to get to levels 4, 5, 6, and 7. The whole goal here was to put more money in our agents' pockets. And what's good for the goose is good for the gander. If we make it good for the, I don't really know what that saying means, but it just came to me. But here's the deal. If you make it better for everybody, the newest guy or gal getting in or couple, then rock and roll. And that's why John Sy was so excited. He was, I've never seen so much fired up people because they're making money, they're growing. And so, and in this market, rev share is kind of important. So I want to open it up. If anybody has a question about what you just saw, we are going to make that video available to you. Rob, did we get a domain name for that yet?
I did get it. You're not allowed to put a period in a URL, but it's revshare20 or 2.0.com, revshare20.com. And right now it just takes you to the YouTube video. We can set up a website, or I just,
yeah, that's fine. I just want to easy way for everyone to watch the video you just saw.
Yeah.
revshare20.com.
Yep.
Is that right?
That's right.
Yeah. Awesome possum. Clark, did I send that to you? I sent it to somebody. Where did I I know I sent the commercial one out.
It's
I believe the URL is thecommercialmodelexplained.com.
perfect.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mark.
Let's do
Thank
a
you so
test on
much.
that. Let's
I'll do a test on it right now.
the commercial
Modelexplained.com.
.com. Yeah. Okay, good. And then we confirm that that is the right domain name. Is someone type that in the chat? Is it there? Yeah, there it is.
Yep, I put it in the chat. Yep.
The commercialmodelexplain.com. That's 19 minutes long, is really well done. So if a commercial agent, we've been showing it to them, and they're like, wow, that's great. Yes, I want to know more. Tristan, fire away. Thank you for using your little reaction hand there.
Okay, Brent, how are you? Hey, John.
Good, buddy.
So I had a question about putting money on non-QAs. Like we've got like 30 FLs and 21 FLQAs, but we're not deep yet. So is there a cheat sheet on that, or is there a general rule of thumb with that?
When you say putting money on them, I'm not sure what you mean.
So to become a QA, you've got to have 5,000 in GCI, correct?
Right.
And so, you know, you get paid on those in the equation, right? In the rev share downline. So I've heard agents doing that, but I haven't really figured it out. I just didn't know if there was
I've done it.
inside secret to that.
I've done it. So what I've done is I brought in my daughter on a transaction I was working. I made her do work. I made her do the home inspection, meet the appraiser, do the disclosures, meet the buyers there again and again, meet the roofer there. I made her give a closing gift. I made her work, and she was able to learn real estate, and I paid her. I just said, I'm going to pay you $5,700, which happens to be over the amount to need. Perfectly legal. I've checked with EXP. I didn't give her the money and say, give it back to me when we're done. That would be gamifying the system to beat the system. So I brought people in to partner with me. Let's say you're at 19, you want to be at 20. I brought somebody in to partner with me on the deal, got them qualified. I made sure they made at least over $5,000. They qualified for 6 months. I made them work their little buns off for it. I wasn't just, here's $5,000, have a good life. I've done it with my dad. Anyone who's around my office, my dad is delivering lockbox, picking up flyers, delivering flyers, picking up signs, meeting pest companies. I mean, my poor little Poppy's 80, he'll be 89 December. I work his little bottom off. It keeps him young. Put your parents to work. You know, we've heard about child labor. How about grandparent labor? Come on, you guys. And trust me, my mom freaking loves getting those little $5,500, $5,300, $5,800 checks. She's like, you got anything else your dad can do? They love it. So I've done it with family and friends. And then I've had some friends, I won't name them, but we're going through a hard time. I said, hey, you want to help me on a deal? And I put them to work. My kids, my son's 20. He dug ditches and pulled weeds and bus tables and saved $30,000. Like, I don't think he ever spent any money, and he's 20 years old. He's buying his first home for $515,000. It just appraised at 520. It's a bird turd. And we're going to paint it, fix it up. But he's in escrow right now. Well, guess what? I brought in my daughter on that one. My other daughter's buying it with him. And so we bring in, and we've helped friends that were going through a hard time. They've taken the money and they're not paying for their country club membership. They're buying gas and groceries. So I brought in some friends who I wanted to help. And so, but the key is I made them work. You with me? And then it can put you over 15. You know, you're at 14, go to 15, 19. The worst numbers are 9, 14, 19, and 24. You are one away from the next pay level, right? And if that makes sense to everybody. So yeah.
Thanks, Brent.
Was that too long of an answer, or was that
No,
clear?
perfect. I've got 4 kids. They're all getting ready to work.
Yeah, there you go. You put them to work, and now you got 4 FLQAs, fully qualified agents. You put them on a spreadsheet. You track them. One's popping off. My mom, I don't have to track my dad. Hey, your dad's about to fall off. Do you get a transaction to put him on? I got my mom. She'll bird dog it for me. I'm like, oh, thanks, Mom. I hadn't noticed. My mom knows. She watches that. Okay. Thank you, Tristan. Rick Violette, fire away.
Hey, Brent, I just want to share with everybody here how significant this RevShare 2.0 has impacted my life. And I'm a little analytical when it comes to money. And so, of course, when I first saw what rolled out, I needed to understand it to make sure that it actually worked before I could promote it, right? And after about 30 days, 45 days, I'm comfortable telling people my income's gone up 400% with EXP. I used to make 10, 12,000 a year, not a big number, but it helps, right? And I'm making over 1,000 to 1,200 a week because of those 3 levels. I have 55 agents in those levels, and now I'm pretty motivated and coming back to finish up the next 2 levels because I'm 5 deep.
There you go. There you go.
And thank you.
So how about this one? I have one for you guys. John Mycash had a saying, change is inevitable, but growth is optional. Something like that. His quote at the end there wasn't that good. And so if you want to grow as a person, so I got one for you. And I knew if I quoted him, I'd forget mine. The heck was it? Oh, that's so funny. Go, don't do it. You're going to forget yours. I got it. An energized base leads to an energized future. If the people you are bringing in are making more money and being more prosperous, and if anybody else wants to share a story, we'd love to hear your story, by all means. Okay, so that is it for today's 1% Club. I really just want to review the 2.0. And then what we're going to do is in 10 minutes, I have Lars Hedenberg. He's one of the premier real estate coaches in North America. He's going to give you 3 tips on how to sell more real estate in 2024, Lars and I. So we start at 5:10 Eastern. That's in 10 minutes. Lars Hedenberg, everyone. Don't miss it. He's spectacular. He's from the East Coast, one of the most respected real estate coaches in America. He also has a group of about, 2,500 agents. He also sponsored a couple who's been here for 1 year, and they built their group from scratch to 600 agents in 1 year. So I'm going to have them as guests on next week's 1% Club. How do they go from 0 to 600 agents in 1 year? And they are type A monsters. That's one way you get it done. And so you will get to meet them next week right here at 4:30 Eastern, 1:30 Pacific. And for now, bye for now. We'll see you in about 9 minutes for Mastering Sales with Lars Hedenberg. Bye, everyone. Thanks for being on today.